Every moment we live, we navigate a landscape shaped not by the mountains or rivers, not even by the hands of time alone, but by the currents of thought that flow through our minds. Life is less a series of external events and more an ongoing conversation with ourselves. We are both audience and actor, yet so often we allow others to direct the script. Philosophy is not some dusty relic hidden in libraries. It is alive, breathing through our choices, our doubts, our passions. Every time we pause and ask why, every time we refuse to accept the immediate answer, we step into a dialogue that has existed since humans first looked at the stars and wondered what it meant to exist. And yet, despite this capacity for introspection, so many of us walk through life carrying the weight of other people's opinions as though they were our own shadows, forgetting that shadows can only follow if we allow them to. The mind, when left unguarded, becomes a mirror reflecting society's expectations, a canvas smeared with colors we did not choose, patterns we did not intend. But the truth, raw and unpolished, is that control over our inner world is the most radical act any of us can undertake. To reclaim that sovereignty, to stand as the architect of our own emotions, is to recognize that while we cannot command the winds or the tides, we can shape the vessel that carries us. Emotions, though vivid and visceral, are not chains, they are signals, maps guiding us through the terrain of experience. We misstep when we mistake the map for the territory, when we allow the fluctuations of others to dictate our course. To feel deeply yet remain unshaken is not denial, it is mastery. And mastery is not a destination but a journey, a perpetual inquiry into the self, a commitment to discern what belongs to us and what does not. The irony of human existence is that we are creatures of immense imagination, capable of envisioning universes, philosophies, civilizations, yet so often we surrender that power to voices external to us. The latest social trend, the charismatic leader, the whispered judgment, these have sway only if we consent. When we hand over the keys to our own experience, we trade authenticity for conformity. Conformity is safe, predictable, comforting in its monotony, but it is the enemy of self-realization. To navigate life with clarity is to recognize the subtle manipulations that dance around us, to hear the undertones of expectation and question them, to separate the signal from the noise. Life is a laboratory, and every emotion is a chemical, every reaction an experiment. Some experiments succeed and reveal truths, others explode and remind us of our fragility. But fragility is not weakness, it is acknowledgement of our humanity. And in embracing humanity fully, we reclaim the capacity to live deliberately. Consider how easily the mind becomes a battlefield. Anger, envy, desire, despair. All these are not invaders, but reflections of the inner self. And yet, when provoked by the actions or words of another, we are tempted to outsource responsibility for our reactions. Someone cuts us off in traffic, someone disagrees with our ideas, someone dismisses our efforts. Immediately, we feel the heat of indignation, the chill of disappointment, and yet each moment contains a choice: to surrender to the reaction as though it is inevitable, or to recognize it as a signal, an invitation to examine the self. The practice of philosophy teaches us the latter, for it is only through observation and reflection that we untangle the web of conditioned responses. To cultivate this awareness is to train the mind as an artist trains their hand, to mold raw experience into deliberate, considered action. Every great thinker, every radical innovator understood this principle intuitively. No one can invade the inner sanctum of your consciousness without your consent. Emotional sovereignty is not arrogance, it is self-respect. It is the realization that while the external world will perpetually challenge us, provoke us, and tempt us, the final say in how we respond rests entirely within. We live in an age that prizes immediacy and spectacle, a culture where feelings are currency and outrage is often louder than reflection. It is easy to be swept away, to adopt a collective mood, to feel what is expected rather than what is authentic. Yet, the path to freedom lies not in rebellion for the sake of rebellion, nor in passive compliance, but in conscious engagement. To choose deliberately what enters our emotional ecosystem is an act of both courage and clarity. It requires that we interrogate our attachments, question the roots of our pain, and discern between what is ephemeral and what is enduring. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Suffering arises when we allow external forces to rewrite our internal narrative, when the power of another's words or actions eclipses the sovereignty of our own mind. By cultivating discernment, we establish a shield not against experience, but against the tyranny of external emotional control. And yet, this practice is not solitary. To recognize our inner authority does not mean retreating from humanity, it means engaging with it more fully. When we are anchored in self-awareness, we relate to others not from fear or reactivity, but from presence and empathy. The liberated mind does not manipulate, nor does it capitulate. It observes, responds, and participates consciously. Love, friendship, dialogue, all flourish when untainted by the compulsion to control or be controlled. Authentic connections arise not from projection, not from emotional coercion, but from shared understanding. This is the paradox of emotional sovereignty. By fully claiming our interior life, we enhance our capacity to connect externally.